in the city.
Hello and welcome to a live reaction from MinnMax. I'm Ben Hansen, and MinnMax is a Patreon about games, friends, and getting better. On the most recent episode of the MinnMax Show podcast, we cover a ton of games, share our full thoughts on the launch lineups for the Series X, for the PlayStation 5, a lot of talk about Demon Souls in there. We are drowning in games, but obviously there is one huge one left, one big outlier, Cyberpunk 2077. And they just dropped the final gameplay trailer for this game. And so we're gonna watch it together along with the MinnMax community. Here, I shared a link right there. So let me know in the chat what you think about the trailer as we walk our way through it. Let's jump in and take a look right now. Here we go.
They got a lock on us. Engines been
Out of the gate action.
Get us out of here.
I'm losing control.
At CD Projekt Red, we dedicate ourselves to telling immersive stories. Yet with every new project, we set out to make our games bigger, more complex, deeply engaging.
Come on, V. Let's get you home.
The narrated trailer is always interesting.
Exploration
it's a very
of a vast open world with kinetic combat.
It's a very Rockstar move.
Story-changing player
They learn from the best.
And robust character development, all to bring you into our vision.
I love the level of granularity for just like the little
like
insets of the tech there. That's so cool.
You either burn alive in it, or you never existed at all.
The year is 2077.
We got that part.
An economic crisis culminating in nuclear conflict has left America in pieces. With most of the continent degenerating
Hello, everybody in the
into
chat.
war zones,
Jet, Ben
people
Castle,
from
Light
all
Max,
over
Super
have
Status. Thanks for being here.
converged on the already overcrowded Night City, one of the world's last great megalopolises. A hub amassing the best in resources and know-how, and home to manufacturers of cutting-edge technologies. Night City continues to offer the promise of a civilized future.
What? No, this isn't happening.
Oh, but it is.
I
But in
love
the same
that.
streets,
It's very
a
opening of
merciless
Metal Gear
struggle
Solid
for
4.
power rages.
The bombastic over-the-top
Gangs,
TV shows. I think
corporate
that might be the thing I'm
agents,
most looking forward to in this game.
religious cultists, politicians, and all manner of criminals strive to outplay one another.
They still have
Ordinary
more to show
people
off
get
in this
caught
game. It is
crossfire.
Looking for justice
unbelievable.
in Night City.
With this stretched
I
out
seek
campaign they've had.
revenge. Much more feasible.
Marketing campaign, that is.
In this world, consumed by never-ending conflict, sometimes only an outsider will get the job done.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
And that's you, an urban mercenary, a cyber-enhanced gun for hire.
You seem to
Really
understand
going through
each
the
other.
basics here. It's interesting that
Pick
this late,
As
this
a
close to
mercenary,
launch, they're
you
like going
slay
back
no
to
legions.
square
You've
one, still trying to
chosen
rope
the
in more of an
outlaw
audience
life,
here.
And trust that your abilities will carry you up Night City's ruthless, underground social ladder.
Heart of Night City. That's it right there.
To thrive as a merc,
Neil Smith says he's
you
going to
need
make
the right
Adam Jensen in the chat.
combination of gear,
Correct.
skills,
I wonder, I bet
and
a lot of people are going
reputation.
to just roleplay Deus Ex here.
I hope he wasn't overselling.
With the money you earn, you can turn yourself into a living weapon, buying guns and enhancements in the
Even
hundreds.
just that skeleton neural network looked amazing.
As you roam the city's streets, you gain the experience you need to
I
upgrade
love any
abilities
trailer that
and
shows off
acquire
this much
perks.
UI.
Combine the right skills and gear to create a gunslinger with inhuman reflexes.
It's nice to see how much they've toned down the
stealthy
red
netrunner
UI
with
from like the
command
first
of all
gameplay demo at
surrounding tech.
E3. Was it 2018? I guess it was.
Or practically anyone in between.
But obviously, there's still a lot of red. Jesus Christ.
In Cyberpunk 2077, you steal a prototype biochip that can set you up for life.
Being filthy rich.
When its sealed container is ruptured, the only way to prevent the biochip from failing is to slot it into your head. It turns out it contains the digitized soul of Johnny Silverhand, a dead
Oh,
rocker
that's
boy
fun.
with violence on his mind.
I mean to say there's an actual terrorist in my head right now.
So you're
He's out
controlling
for
him one-to-one
revenge.
with your hands? I haven't
Aims to
seen
bring
that.
down the megacorp that made the chip.
Do whatever it takes to stop him, defeat him, gut him.
What is in your head can shift the balance of power in Night City. The high and mighty will do anything to lay their hands on it.
For the final trailer, you think they would have led with Keanu a little bit, you know, closer to the start of the video, but that's confidence, baby.
The choices you make will shape your story and determine how events unfold.
V, you gotta take him down. That's why we're here.
But not everything in Night City is a matter of
that's
life and
fun.
death. Sometimes it's about style, choosing your look, your
Style.
brand, your pastime.
We love
who's at your side.
motorcycles.
Choosing how you spend your dirty money.
Ooh, customizing an apartment. What's that roller coaster thing? Throat punch. All right. A censored butt?
Welcome to the next generation of open world adventure. Immerse yourself in Cyberpunk 2077.
It's a great shot. I love they call it the next generation, even though technically only available on this old generation of consoles and PC, obviously. And I guess Stadia if you want to be nuts. All right, chat, let me know what stood out to you, what you want to look at again. We're looking forward to this game. Just to be completely honest, we have something at MinnMax called The Deepest Dive, which is the best, most thorough discussion about games on the internet. We were going to cover Cyberpunk 2077 back when it was launching. Was it supposed to launch today, right? But with the delay, we ended up shifting that, and so now we're covering Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's a big community-fueled game club discussion, so if you support us at any tier on Patreon, you can submit a comment for us to read. In that discussion, we break games up into multiple sections. We covered Final Fantasy VII Remake, we've covered Last of Us Part 2, Chrono Trigger, Outer Worlds, a lot of fun stuff throughout the way. We just wrapped one up on The Thing, which is our first multimedia deepest dive. And so we're still up in the air about whether or not on December 10th we're going to kick off the deepest dive for Cyberpunk, but we're getting down to the date. We got to figure out for sure if that's going to happen or not. So let us know if you'd like us to tackall Cyberpunk 2077 for the deepest dive. Obviously, the holidays is going to make that a tricky thing. All right, they want to see the menus again. Yeah, that is the good stuff, isn't it? That is that good gamer stuff. And I want to see that censored butt again, because that's also the good gamer stuff. All right, let's look at what we got here.
You gain the experience you need to upgrade abilities and acquire
I love that, just like the
combine the right skills and gear to create a gun
technical angle for all the UI and stuff as well. All right, people are interested in that censored butt shot. Let's see if we can find that sucker. It's after Keanu, yes. It was after the big slideroo,
will do anything to lay their hands on
I believe. Let's see if we can find it again. Oh, I want to look at that crazy skeleton part too. And wait for the drop. There we go. That was a drop, I guess, technically. People will want to see us tackle this for the deepest dive. Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be challenging to structure, you know, if we're breaking the game up into multiple sections, a game with this much freedom, exactly what goes to what, all that fun stuff will get a little bit messy to try and figure out. But we're here to work with the community, probably in the MinnMax Discord. Okay, I think that part's coming up. Wait for it. Is it after this? Throat punch, drink. There we go. There we go, everybody. Good old-fashioned censored butt crack. Is this Ken? I don't know if that should be the thumbnail necessarily, but let's see if we can find that shot of, well, we can go back through. Yeah, here it is. I want to see this body shot again.
With the money you earn,
people say it looks like cone heads. Okay, hang on. I'm so interested in the way that looks. That looks so crazy. I think there's a lot of people looking forward to this game, obviously, but there's a lot of people I think that are like, oh, I can't wait to play this on my new console. And I don't know, I bet there's going to be a large percentage of people that are going to pop this game in and not be aware that it's technically the last gen version until the current gen version launches early next year. Is that the messaging that they've conveyed on it? And so I think people might be disappointed, like, doesn't look that good, whereas the people playing on PC, and you know, in some ways, maybe even the Stadia version will just be blown away by obviously it looking as good as it does in the trailers. But I'm very curious to see what the PlayStation 4, Xbox One version looks like. Obviously, playing that on a new system will enhance it in some ways, but it won't be the full next-gen version. Like, it won't look like it does in these trailers on your new console, which I think is going to be a big bummer for people. But let us know what you think about Cyberpunk 2077 in the chat. We're looking forward to covering it on the MinnMax Show podcast in the future, perhaps even for the big community game club called The Deepest Dive. But thanks so much for joining us for this live reaction. You can look forward to the new episode of the MinnMax Show podcast going live in a little bit here, and next week we'll be airing the second half of our huge game club discussion on Spider-Man Miles Morales. We have Kyle Bossman, formerly of Easy Allies, joining us for that big adventure. So we hope you enjoy that. Any help sharing the deepest dive with a friend is appreciated because we think it's a very good format and a very fun way to talk about games. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Bye!